If your student loan debt is in default, meaning you haven't made any payments within the last 270 days, now is the time to address it. If you don't want to get sued, your wages garnished, or have collectors call you, this is the time to address it. However, statute of limitations may apply, which could help you get out of legal action. In this video, we're going to be talking about how statute of limitations works with federal and private student loans and what you can do about it. Hey guys, it's Justine with the College Investor, Investing and Personal Finance for Millennials. Now, if you have a student loan debt in default, that pretty much means that you haven't been making payments on it and it may have just been put on the back burner for you. And there's some key things that you need to know about how student loan default works with statute of limitations. So first, what is statute of limitations? It's the amount of time that a creditor has to sue you if you've been in default. Okay, once that statute of limitations has been reached, creditors can't use the legal system to get you to repay that debt. Now, you still owe the debt, you just can't be sued or have your wages garnished once that time allotment has passed. So statute of limitations can also be referred to as time barred. So that amount of time after it has passed, then your debt is time barred and you don't have to technically worry about getting sued or having your wages garnished after that time has passed. Okay, so how does statute of limitations affect federal student loans? Well, it doesn't because there aren't any limitations, which means federal student loan debt never expires. You have to make a plan to either get it out of default or risk getting sued or having your wages garnished. On the flip side, statute of limitations on private student loans works a little bit differently, in which there are statute of limitations and it can vary from state to state. Now, some states will have the statute of limitations for as little as 3 years. Others may have that debt still listed as active for up to 15 years, which means in that 15-year time span, if you're not doing any type of payments on those private student loans, those collectors and creditors can go after you and request that you make payment. So if you have private student loans that are in default, but you think statute of limitation applies and those debts are time barred, then you can consult a bankruptcy or consumer advocacy lawyer to help you understand your options and whether or not your debt truly is time barred and what your next steps are. And one other important thing you want to know about statute of limitations and this thing called zombie debt. Yes, zombie debt is a real thing. So if you have a collector who's calling you about a past debt, old debt that you haven't touched in years, if you agree to make a payment or make a payment right then and there, it is going to basically bring that debt back from the dead, and it's going to be listed as active again, and you're going to be on the hook for those collector calls and getting them to make you repay the loan. And what all that means is those collectors and creditors now have legal authority to come after you for that debt. Instead, your solution would be to request a debt verification letter and enlisting the help of a lawyer. So if your student loan debt is in default, make sure you answer all lawsuits against you. If creditors are bothering you about your debt, make sure that you understand whether or not it's time barred and don't agree to make any payments. You can contact a lawyer to come up with a settlement plan if you have private student loans and come up with a plan of action to take care of it in a timely manner. Then you can send a cease and desist letter via certified mail. If you have federal student loans that are in default, this is the time to bring them out of default. So there are plenty of income-driven repayment plans. Even if you don't make a ton of money, they can work with you to come up with a monthly payment that fits your budget. Or you can look into federal student loan forgiveness and then look at that as a way to get rid of your federal student loans. Either way, you absolutely have to address it because it doesn't go away. Remember, collectors can and will call you even after statute of limitations has passed. Now is the time to make a plan of action for your student loan debt that is in default. Bring it out of default so that you can move on with your life. If you want more information on how to manage student loan debt, be sure to check out all of our free resources at thecollegeinvestor.com.